Alright guys, this is the part 3 and the last one on preparing your food or slash manure to bring it indoors. This is my poop factory, Aviv and her 2 kids. We got 2 others. Thanks to them, they've made it all possible for me to do this. Okay, so what you'll need is a drill is optional. It's got a blade on it for mixing. You can get it at the hardware store. There's all kinds of different blades, but it is optional. A glass of ice water, and I'll explain that at the end. We have cocoa coir and rubber gloves. That's cocoa coir just to show you what a brick of coir looks like. Shredded paper. Some more. Here's some egg crate cardboard, and in this bucket we have newspaper. And not all of this is necessary, and you can mix it up any way you want. But anyway, now we have our goat manure that has now come down to temperature. It is ambient temperature now. So, and it just rained, so it filled my bucket up. And that's not going to hurt the lawn, really. Probably more beneficial, the stuff that I dumped out, than not. I just tell people not to use it because you never know what's going to happen. And it's a little warm, so you want it to cool off if you ever wanted to use it. I just hate telling beginners that it's good to use, and then they go and dump it on their plants. You're like, oh, you told me it was good to use, and look what it did. It killed it. So you're better off. Sometimes it's just a mystery liquid, so you're better off just dumping it. So we are ready to dump this into our bucket. Make sure we get all the water out. But it has strained now, and it's about as strained as it will get, and it still looks a little wet, but that's the way it is. A lot of people, they'll take their kitchen scraps and cook it. They'll freeze it. They'll freeze it or cook it and introduce it to their worm bin. It helps break down the cell walls of plants. It helps the microbes come in quicker. The reason why, one of the reasons why I cook this, and it's stinky, and so I'll bring it indoors and I'll cover it up. What is my replacement? Oh. Now the drill, like I said, this is optional, but some of those little goat berries, you can mix it up, make a little mash out of it. And I don't normally do it. I just put it in there the way it is, because it'll all get composted. But I just wanted to demonstrate that to you, or make it into smaller pieces for the worms to digest. All right, now we're going to pour this. Actually, yeah, pour this back in here. Okay. Now our next step is to spread it out. Now, because it is super wet, we are going to add some shredded paper. I have some cardboard here too. And this was, if you ever get any worms from me, this is what worms come in, and you can take this and break it down too. Just remove the tape. And I also had some of these, and I forgot to bring them with me, but you want to use, that's wet, but you want to use dry because it rained, but you want to use dry shredded paper or cardboard products. You can use dry peat moss as long as you don't use a whole lot of it. We're adding good fiber and carbon material to the bedding here, and this is going to help soak up a lot of this moisture, excess moisture that's in here, as well as help aerate it, because we want the plenty of oxygen to move through, because if it's too compacted, the oxygen can't penetrate that. I wouldn't worry too much though, because the worms will work their way up through it slowly, or it just depends on the worms at the time, but they'll work their way through it and aerate it. They're great natural aerators. So, but I like to use plenty of material just to cover all my bases. I was going to put the rubber gloves on for this, and I just completely forgot. But this kind of tells you it really doesn't have a bad smell. This is not your average poop. Goat manure, like rabbit manure, sheep, is a cold manure. So it can go straight in to the worm bin, or it can go straight into your garden. It's not going to heat up. It's not going to kill anything. So that's the wonderful thing about it, and that's one of the reasons why I have goats. So if you can get a good look at this right here. So it doesn't stink like a lot of other manure, but you know, it does have a little smell to it. So but just like I do everything else, whenever I put new food in, and this is just me, but I like to cover it up with coir, and you can use peat moss, but this is coconut coir, and this is a brick of it, and that'll help cut down on the smell. And even though it is indoors, even in it, you do have some flies or any kind of pests or bugs, whatever, they're not going to be real attracted to it. Now I would like to put another one on there, but just for time's sake, we're just going to call this good. And the last thing that I do here is I put a wet piece of newspaper on top to help hold the moisture in. That's been soaking for a good amount of time. And this is the perfect size newspaper for this bin, and I'll fold it over here. And I always carry, or have handy next to my bins, a spray bottle. And so once this will dry out a little bit because the factories are good. Unlike the totes just, they hold in moisture very well, and sometimes that can work against you. But these, the factories, the worm factories, the worm ends, They just do a great job at aerating. So I like to keep that spray bottle handy, so I can spray the top of this, and I can lift this up and spray underneath it. Just a few shots here and there, maybe every couple days, every 3 days. Just depends on the type of food that you have in here. Some people will put stuff from the cucumber or melon family in, and a lot of fruits can be high in moisture, so that can be kind of bad and work against you. But all you got to do is just monitor the moisture and make sure it's nice and moist and not too wet and fluffy and aerated. So we're good with this here, and the next step, I was going to put this in, which is the egg crate, and it's all dry, but this is the kind of stuff that you want to put in there to kind of soak up that excess moisture. But I had enough shredded paper. And when it comes to paper products, the browner it is, the more natural that it's gonna be for the worms. So here we are ready. This will slip, come on in here. Now, like I said, I like feeding them banana peels. They love it. And the great thing about banana peels is that it's got great sugars in it. For them, they love the simple sugars, and they go nuts over it. And I've already been in here stirring up the pot a bit, so you won't see they've gone down underneath. But simply all we do is just put the next tray on and cover it up, put the lid on, and that's it. Now, for the glass of water, this next step is really important, but it's not necessary, but it is really important. Because after all that work, you're going to be thirsty. So make sure you have a glass of ice water. So that's it. This is how to prepare your food to bring indoors. And till next video, this is Paulie for wormfarmerreveal.com. See you next time.